Crash Bandicoot was born in 1994 by two people, Jason Rubin and Andy Gavin. Deciding the PlayStation needed a mascot, they created what they called the Sonic Ass game.
And no, we ain't joking. So let's roll on the history of Crash Bandicoot, the rise and the fall. From the highs to the lows.
We don't need this, we already did that.
Alright, look, let me just finish.
Crash Bandicoot, 1996. The first Crash Bandicoot game launched in 1996 for the original PlayStation and sold 6.8 million units worldwide.
Also interesting,
Naughty Dog
actually hacked the PS1 to produce amazing visuals for the game.
On top of that, Naughty Dog had to fight a lot with Universal in order to keep the game the way they wanted it. They even threatened to leave production if the main lead was not called Crash Bandicoot.
There was punches from left and right, but guess who won? That's right, Universal.
Crash Bandicoot 2, Cortex Strikes Back, 1997.
G.
Following the success of the original, Naughty Dog was tasked with creating a sequel. Crash Bandicoot 2 Cortex Strikes Back was born and ran on a new engine that was 3 times faster than the original. The game was released in 1997 and received critical acclaim and sold 5.17 million units. Crash Bandicoot action figures were released.
We should stop that. It's getting very distracting. During this time, Rheosaurus, a toy company, produced a line of amazingly detailed but very delicate Crash Bandicoot action figures. Only 2 sets were released, and a third was cancelled due to the closure of Rheosaurus. They are the masterminds behind the Sonic Adventure figures and the unreleased Gex figures.
Fun fact 2. Did you know they were going to produce Oddworld figures?
Can you imagine Abe action figure? That would have been sweet.
Crash Bandicoot 3 Warp 1998, CTR Crash Team Racing 1999.
I told you, let's stop that.
In 1998, Naughty Dog released Crash 3. However, it wasn't actually meant to be the third installment in the series.
In fact, CTR was the original third Crash game.
Both games received positive reviews and sold well.
Had a bit more emotion.
Crash Bash 2000. CTR marked the end of Naughty Dog's deal with Universal, and as they moved on to PS2 to produce the Jak and Daxter series, Eurocom created a Crash Party game called Crash Bash in 2000.
While it wasn't as good as the originals, it did receive positive reviews from critics and gamers alike. As you can tell, the graphics aren't as good as the previous installments, as Eurocom didn't hack the system.
Crash Bandicoot, the Wrath of Cortex 2001.
I'll go back to my basement.
Crash then made the jump to next gen with Wrath of Cortex, developed by Traveler's Tales. It was a mostly uninspired game and was notorious for the PS2 version's incredibly long loading times. It was met with mixed but mostly negative reception.
Crash
Bandicoot XS 2002.
Or whatever it's called, extra small in America. However, on the GBA, Crash had justice in the palm of your hands with Crash the Huge Adventure. Oh, that's a huge adventure. It played faithfully to the original Naughty Dog games in 2D format and received positive reviews and considered one of the top tier titles on the GBA. Ah, I love the GBA.
Crash Bandicoot 2 Nanotrans 2003. A year later, Entranced 2003. A year later, a sequel came out called Entrance, which was pretty much more of the same, just no Cortex.
Which felt weird. Crash Nitro Kart
2003.
Also in that year, Crash jumped back to the driver's seat with Crash Nitro Kart. It featured Billy West as a shark and received mixed reviews upon release, and could not match the greatness of CTR. Sadly.
Crash Purple Reptiles Rampage 2004. In 2004, Crash teamed up with Spyro for Crash Purple Ripto's Rage. There was a lot of potential.
Rampage.
Ripto's Rampage. There was a lot of potential, but unfortunately they wasted it on a bunch of dull minigames, and the storyline was a mess.
Don't you just hate it when they miss some of these epic crossovers and turn them into minigames? Oh.
Crash Twinsanity 2004.
Crash returned to form briefly with the utterly charming and funny Crash Twinsanity. Original title, Ultimate Dog Teeth.
The game was developed by Traveler's Tales once again, and they did a good job. Unfortunately, due to time constraints, a lot of cuts had to be made, such as a level set inside Coco's mind. The game was received well with a few mixed reactions.
Like mixed reactions of sandwiches. Crash Tech Team Racing 2005. Crash went back to kart racing and a bit of platforming with Crash Tag Team Racing. Created by Radical Entertainment,
who slowly pushed the series into obscurity.
The game tried too hard to be funny, and the racing involving teaming up with each other, which before departing made no sense.
Add in half-ass platforming and you got a game that just didn't know what it was supposed to be. Racing, platforming, minigames. Which one is it? Crash, Boom, Bang!
2006. Crash returned to the party genre with Crash, Boom, Bang. And let's just say this was anything but a bang.
More like a little fizzle.
The less said about this, the better. So let's move on.
Crash of the Titans 2007.
Crash returned to home consoles.
And handheld.
For Crash of the Titans.
This gave Crash an unnecessary redesign, however it was mostly a fun little game, especially in two-player co-op. The game received fair reviews and mostly sold well in the UK. However, Jason Rubin and Andy Gavin hate this game. With a vengeance!
Crash Bandicoot Nitro Kart 3D, 2008.
Crash raced his way onto the iPod Touch with Crash Nitro Kart 3D in 2008. It was considered one of the best racing games for the iPod with lots of tracks and unlockables.
However, fans, such as myself, hated it because they completely destroyed Ripperoo. Where was he a boxing kangaroo? Crash Mind of a Mutant, 2008.
In the same year, Crash came back with Mind of a Mutant, and unfortunately the two-player co-op didn't work as well in this game compared to Titans.
However, it did receive positive reviews, especially for its cartoony voice acting. Crash Bandicoot Mutant Island, 2009, and Crash Nitro Kart 2, 2010. Crash ended the last 2 years with Mutant Island on the BlackBerry in 2009, and a sequel to Nitro Kart in 2010 for the iPod. The games received decent reviews, and Nitro Kart 2 even returned to the characters' original designs.
So we end this video asking, will Crash ever regain his golden age back? The answer? Probably not.
No one knows what the future holds with Crash now that he's with Activision. Let's just hope he doesn't turn up in Skylanders. Ugh. Ah, Spyro. How we miss thee.
However, that is for another time.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you all later.